Hi everyone, it's your girl Regina coming to you with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 things that you need to be doing 100 days before your cruise. I get asked all the time, how do I prepare for my cruises? And I tell people I don't wait till the last minute. I have a whole little process that I do starting at 100 days, 90 days, 60 days, 30 days, and so forth on. So I decided to put together my whole series on some of the things you should be doing throughout this process leading up to your cruise. The biggest mistake that people make is wait until the last minute. So if you section yourself off and do it little bit by little bit, by the time it's time for you to get on your cruise, you'll be fully prepared and ready to go. I'm actually 100 days away from getting on the Carnival Horizon for my yearly January cruise. This year I am doing a whole group cruise, so it's a little bit different. January of this year, we went on the Carnival Sunrise, and it was just me, my son, and his wife, so it was a little bit easier to orchestrate. But this year, it's a group cruise. So even with a group cruise, these tips apply whether you're going with your family, you're going with group, you're going with your friends. These tips really do apply. It's actually 6 tips, but the first tip is basically if you're going with a group. So the very first thing that I did this morning, because I am at exactly 100 days, is I put together a group text. Group text is very important if you're doing a family cruise, a girls trip, friends, whatever. If you're doing a large group cruise where it's multiple families getting together to go on this cruise, you're going to want to do a group text so that everybody will be getting the same information in one place. I'm actually getting ready to do a family cruise. I got family coming from Orlando. I'm already in Miami, so I'm already here. I got some family coming from Tallahassee and Jacksonville, and we all coming down here to meet to get on this cruise in 100 days. So this group text, having a group text is very important so that everybody will be on the same page and everybody will know what's going on. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, this should be the month that you either already have paid off your cruise or your due date is coming up. This is the time where you need to check to see, have your cruise been paid off? If you on a multiple cruise with other people, you on a cruise with other people in your room, you need to make sure that they all paid off. Because if this room is not paid off, most cruise companies require you to be paid off 90 days before sailing. This is the time to make sure that it's done. Me and my son, we always set up like a payment plan. When we got off the Carnival Sunrise in January, I booked this cruise in February, so it gave us 10 months to pay it off, which is smart. It don't put you in no type of stress or anything like that. Our cruise came up to $2,000 because we are in a Ocean View room. We split it by 3 people because that's 3 people in the room, and it came out to be $78 a month. And every month, everybody just made a payment. We actually paid our cruise off 2 months in advance because, like, I would pay extra if I worked overtime, or, you know, they were saying instead of $78, they sent $100 a piece. So we was able to pay off our cruise early. But you need to stay on top to make sure that this cruise is paid off, because if that cruise is not paid off, they will cancel your cruise. Okay, so make sure your cruise is paid off. The next thing you should be doing, if that cruise paid off, did you pay gratuities at the beginning? I added my gratuities at day 1. So it got calculated within the $78 a month payment that everybody had to make in order to go on this cruise. So I'm not concerned about the gratuities. A lot of people don't add the gratuities because you actually can go on a cruise without adding your gratuities to the cruise, because you can actually pay for the gratuities on the boat. I never recommend this. I always recommend that you prepay for your gratuities. If you didn't add it at the beginning, once that cruise paid off, go back in and pay for your gratuities. Because what's going to happen is the gratuities, you kind of seem to, a lot of people forget about them. And then when you get hit with that gratuity fee, the last day of your cruise, some people don't went into, their accounts don't went into negative because they forgot all about the gratuities. I know it's ways that you can go in and try to have the gratuities taken off and things like that. I always pay my gratuities because it is people serving me. Well, not serving me, but waiting on me throughout the cruise. You know, making up my room, making sure I got towels at the pools, greeting me, fixing my drink. So that's why I pay my gratuities every single time I cruise. But I prepay for them because that's something that you don't want to have to worry about when you on your cruise. So if you did not add them gratuities on at the beginning of your cruise, go in, take this time now to go in and pay off them gratuities so you won't have that to worry about. Tip number 4, and this is important, especially if you're doing a group cruise. Start looking at excursions on these ports that you's gonna stop at. Because if you're going to wait till you get on the boat, or you're going to wait a week or 2 before you actually cruise to start figuring out if you're going to do an excursion, a lot of the good excursions is already gone because people already done went in and selected these excursions and paid for them. So if you had an idea in your head on what you wanted to do when you got, because I'm going to Jamaica, I'm going to Cayman Islands, I'm going to Cozumel, Mexico. If you said you wanted to go to a waterfall in Jamaica, you seen it on YouTube or something like that, and you wait till you get on the boat and then they tell you it's not available no more, it's because at this point, 100 days out, individuals have already started looking at excursions, selecting excursions, and paying for it before they even get on the boat. So if you're thinking about doing excursions, figure out which ports you're going to do excursions at, and go ahead and prepay. Take this time to start paying for your excursions. Okay, tip number 5. Where you gonna stay at if you coming the day before your ship sail? Like I said, I live in Miami. So I'm like right by the port. It's nothing for me to get to the port. But like I said, if you coming in from out of town, like my family coming in from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, of course, yes, they can drive that morning and still make it on time to the boat, but they don't want to do that. Anything can happen, traffic, accidents happen, anything can happen. So they coming in the day before. Individuals who have to fly from destinations. You live in New York or you in Minnesota somewhere, you escaping the cold weather to come on a Caribbean cruise. You need to figure out right now what hotel you staying in. Do you need a rental car? This is the things that you need to be doing 100 days before you get on that boat, because you're going to find better prices now for hotels and rental cars than trying to get a hotel or a rental car 2 weeks before you go on your sailing. So the farther out that you can book these things, the cheaper it will be and the more money you will save. So start thinking about, you know, what hotel that you staying in. Is you going to be parking your car at the port? Do you need park and shuttle? You need to start thinking about, you know, your transportation, where you're going to stay, things like this before you get on the ship. But what about after you get off the ship? Is you flying out that same day, or is you going to stay an extra day in South Florida? So you need to, all these things need to be, you know, you need to be going over things like that. This is stuff that you got to prepare for before you even get on the boat, because you don't want to be a week or 2 out and you scrambling and now you stressed out because you didn't take care of these things in advance. These are things that you need to be doing now. Actually, my family think that they finna come down the day before and pile up at my house on my couches, on blow up mats and all that. What they don't know is I'm gonna let them do that. I don't have no problem with them do that. But I'm not finna stay in a crowded room because they trying to save some money on the hotel. I'm going to my boyfriend's house that night and I'm gonna see them in the morning. But like I said, they already got their plans together. They already know they not paying for a hotel. They gonna go stay with Regina, but Regina going to stay somewhere else, because I'm not sleeping in that drama for one night. And I see them in the morning for us to go to the port. So, you know, see, 100 days out, I already got my plan together. So make sure you know what's going on, because it's some steps that you got to take before you even, do you got to fly here? I don't know. Do you need to book you a flight? You know, these are things that you should be doing now. Okay, and the final tip is, again, how you get into that cruise. I'm gonna give y'all, once you at the hotel, it's a lot of hotels that actually have, if you stay at a hotel, they will shuttle you over to the cruise boat and they will bring you back to the hotel. Find that out when you book your cruise. Is you parking at the port? I did parking shuttle one year where I parked in the whole a parking lot, and because my car was there for a week, and then they took us over to the port, and then they came back and got us. It was like $100 and something. Last year, I parked my car at my friend's house down in Brickell in Miami. I drove down to Brickell and parked my car at her house for a week, and I took Uber over to the port for less than $10. So it was less than $10 going and coming. So I actually, to park my car at her house was free, and I totally paid like $20. So again, these are all things that you need to be figuring out 100 days before you go on your cruise. I hope this really helps some of y'all, because I know on my last cruise, you know, after pandemic and things like that, I noticed that it's a lot of first-time cruisers. You know, it was a lot of first-time cruisers on the Carnival Sunrise this year. I even went on a Margaritaville down in West Palm Beach this year, and it was packed. When it used to be Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line, I never went on that boat when it was sold out, and it was sold out. So it's a lot of people that's really getting out, and they finding that cruising is a really efficient way to see different areas at a good price. Something that I've been saying for years, that cruising is very affordable, and you can see different parts of the world through cruising. And a lot of people has caught on to it. They sat home during the pandemic and watched all these YouTube videos, and now they're getting on the boat. So make sure you start preparing yourself 100 days before you actually get on the boat. And I will see you guys when I do my 90 days, 5 days tips on 5 things that you need to be doing 90 days before a cruise. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I shoot cruise tip videos as well as DIY projects every single week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, everyone.